Guys, I am ready to get this hookeroad.com bumper on my truck. I'm sorry for the video quality. It's raining, it's loud, thundering and lightning, but I can't wait any longer, man. I'm excited, so let's go ahead and get started. I don't know if this is actually going to be required, but I'm going to remove the spare tire just to give me some better access underneath the rear bumper. With the spare tire out of the way, it is much easier to see. This is the wire harness connector for the trailer lights. Go ahead and squeeze the tabs together and then push forward. To disconnect the connector, there's a spring tab right here, so you're going to press it in and it separates like that. Go ahead and remove all the panel clips underneath the bottom edge and the one behind the license plate. So it is kind of a blind reach if you do this from the outside of the vehicle, but you can kind of go under here and there's a little cavity right behind here. So you can see with the white connector, that's where that light fixture is going to be for the license plate light. And rotated just behind that, there's a black connector, and that's going to be the parking sensor. So take a long screwdriver, wedge it onto the plastic clip, and then push the license plate light out of its socket. So we're going to go ahead and work on removing this kind of plastic trim and separate it from the color matched part of the rear bumper. There are a couple clips underneath, but you can just kind of start to pry it up on the bottom edge. With all those pop rivets out and all of the electrical connections disconnected, you can finish prying this one loose. The wire harness for the parking sensors had enough slack to kind of pull the plastic piece out and then disconnect them from the back side of the plastic. So you can see how the sensor fits itself, and this was the trim ring that is visible on the outside of the bumper. And so the sensor itself just kind of snaps into place. So to disconnect the actual sensor, I wedged a pry tool up on this surface right here and wedged it off of the bumper. And so the trim ring actually stayed with the bumper, but the sensor stayed hanging from the wire harness. So there's a bunch of vertical bolts all along down the line of the bumper, 1, 2, 3, 4, and on down the line. You can use a ratchet, but I want to make sure I don't scratch up my tailgate, so I'm actually going to use a combination wrench and do this manually by hand. Might take a little bit longer, but now let's save the scratches for the trail, not for a wrench. These are actually surprisingly tight. I don't know why they're so tight, but you don't need to see me wrenching on all these bolts for 10 minutes, but you get the picture. Take them out, don't scratch things. Let's see what comes next. So with all the bolts free, the only thing left is the wire harness back here. It is clipped onto the back side. If you have, looks like the rear parking sensors, but there might be other harness clips too. But this looks like you can relieve some tabs and push it downwards. Maybe use a plier or a screwdriver. So I've got both of the harness from the right side and the left side. Now I'm going to work on this harness in the middle. Same thing with the screwdriver, push it in from the side. Same thing on this one. Oh, it looks like there's one over here and one over here. So this wire harness is very well retained. And you can take this piece of metal off. Each corner is going to be held in with 2 vertical bolts right here. The corner is now free, but I've got the parking sensors and the blind spot monitoring system, so I've got to further disassemble this to disconnect the wire harnesses. The color matched portion of the corner just really snaps out freely, but don't tug on the sensors. Make sure you get the retaining rings out of your bumper and set that aside. The blind spot monitoring sensor has 3 studs and you need a 10mm socket to remove it. Now I'm going to go ahead and unclip the sensor. So you can see how the frame ends back here up underneath the actual bed, and the trailer hitch kind of sticks out. This is a pretty stout bracket, and this is what the stock bumper mounted to. So if you have a trailer hitch, you're just going to use these 2 vertical holes and this 1 horizontal hole on each side. That's going to line up with the bracket. So you're going to pick the bumper up, center it, and the frame mount that's welded to the bumper is going to kind of slide right into this surface, and you can go ahead and get those bolts in line. So the driver's side is where you're going to use your bolt-on bracket. This is going to be the 2 vertical frame mount bolts, and you can see it's kind of recessed back there. It is pretty high, so it's not like it's hanging down lower than the hitch. We'll have to go off-roading with it and see if it gets in the way, but I think it should be all right. And on the sideways bolt, I'm going to put the bolt head on the outside. No real reason. I don't think it'll matter, but that's just what I'm doing. So I've got the driver's side loosely bolted up, and I'm going to do the same thing on the passenger side. That way I can just wiggle the bumper around, make sure it's adjusted properly and looks good to the body lines. And I will double check the tailgate, make sure that you got clearance and you're not going to crunch your sheet metal here when you open it up. So just out of preference, I like to have my bumper to the rearmost position possible based on the tolerance of the holes and the bolts that it goes through. And that's just because when I use the recovery points, that way it's already kind of bottomed out against the bolts and the bolts are all torqued properly. And I don't have to worry about kind of slipping the joint on one side and kind of making the bumper crooked. So I'm just going to grab the bottom edge and kind of pull outwards, top edge, pull outwards while it's still loose. Then I'm going to go ahead and torque each of the bolts to 55 foot-pounds. So we're going to go ahead and plug in some sensors. So this is going to be the parking sensor all the way on the end. This is the parking sensor that will go right here. The retaining rings are already in place. And I am going to go on the back side so I can make sure the sensor is aligned with those spring tabs. Now we got a parking sensor in. It's a little bit difficult to get oriented. Sensor number 2. I'll repeat for the last 2. So let's take a look underneath the bumper so we can check out the wire harness. You can see where I've got the parking sensor. I routed the wires up top on that gusseting and it comes back down. I haven't hooked up the spotlights yet. That's a connector I'm no longer using for the blind spot monitoring. I'm going up over the frame rail between the bumper and the sheet metal. So you can see the wire harness behind the license plate is just going to be flopping around if you don't do something with it. I wish the Hooke Road bumper came with something to retain that wire harness. Either they had some holes along the back edge of the top plate where you could clip the existing clips into place, or even if it just had some generic edge clips with zip tie on it, you could either clip them to the edge of the Hooke Road bumper, or if you didn't want to like chip up your powder coat or you're concerned about clipping to there, you know, you could have done edge clips and clip them up on these sheet metal flanges, but you need something to hold this out of the way because it's just going to be flopping around. I wish they did something about that. You can see the license plate lighting. It's got a small little connector. That's not going to work with the connector that the stock license plate lighting is connected to. I'll live life on the edge and leave that disconnected for now until I come up with a better solution. So you can see on the driver's side frame rail, underneath the top deck of the bumper, I was able to route the wire harnesses off to the side. And I did the same thing over here with the parking sensor going up and down. So again, I'll have to try and connect this somehow. Maybe I'll just zip tie it to a hole here and just keep it from dangling. But these wire harnesses need to be retained. You want to look out for sharp edges, make sure that they're secure, not going to rub on a sharp edge, not dangling down and get snagged on something. You want them high and tight. So you still got a little bit of work to do once you get the bumper actually installed, but we're almost done. So when you look at the back of the trailer lighting connector, there's a flat surface right here, and then where the round connector is. So the round connector's going to go into the kind of the curved side of the bracket right here, and the clips should snap into place. However, the cutout on this piece of sheet metal is too tight. It will not fit into place and it's binding. It's not a huge deal. I'm just gonna have to clean up the hole and widen it out some. It's probably just the thickness of the actual powder coating on it. So I'm gonna have to take a die grinder and just kind of widen out the slots on either end. So the bumper is essentially installed at this point. I still have some remaining tasks to do though, mostly with the electrical system. I still gotta take care of these reverse lights. I gotta wire in the license plate light. I gotta source actual hardware so I can bolt up my real license plate. And I gotta take care of that issue that I came across with the trailer hitch wiring harness connector. Either I'll modify the bracket or find another place to mount it up. So overall, I am satisfied with the bumper. I think it looks great. The body lines match up very well. All of the bolt holes lined up and the bolts went in without too much problem, and it is nice and strong. That being said, there is some room for further refinement of the design to make the install a little bit more user-friendly. It would be nice if they had some type of provision for retaining that main vehicle wire harness on the back side of the bumper. It would be nice if the license plate light was plug and play, so that way you could just plug it into the existing vehicle wire harness, even if it involved just including an extra pigtail that had the correct connector on it. And it would be nice if they included some extra hardware to mount your license plate through the bolt holes that they provide. That being said, this is not the first piece of budget-friendly off-road armor that I've ever had that included a few tasks for the end user to figure out. So at the end of the day, I do think that it is a great budget-friendly option, as long as you are not afraid of the installation process and all these kind of final tasks that you might have to figure out on your own to get all the lights hooked up. That being said, you won't really be alone, because I will be posting more videos in the future with those details of those final tasks. So go ahead and like and subscribe if you enjoy the content of these videos. Comment below if you have questions or suggestions for future videos, and thanks for watching.